Welcome back, everybody, to the show, Be the Trader. Today, I have a special episode, another episode with James Freedlender, where we're going to be discussing a specific trade that he did. And this is on we're April 13th, which is Monday. And it's after the market close. And then we're going to be discussing the ticker WORX, WORX. So be sure to look it up on the daily so that way you can put it in perspective, because we're going to share with you the intraday chart with the executions. So give me 1 second to share that, James, and then we can get this thing started, my man. Sure. Go right ahead, my friend.
Perfect. So my goal as a trader, that I think a lot of you guys noticed from past interviews and from, if you follow me on Twitter, is I like to nail and bail and trade broken stocks, right? So it's funny talking about WORX now that it's squeezed to 15, 16. But my style of trading is I'm usually done by 10:30, 11 at the latest. So I get to avoid a lot of that nonsense. So basically what happened today was we saw this crazy squeeze on absolute BS news. And, it's funny how the morning changed, because at first I'm like, this is a no short. I'm not even going to locate. And then locates became a little scarce. They were a little bit more pricey, and the stock started really downtrending. So I said, I'm going to take some small size. Why not? And as it started really downtrending, I got really, really interested. So I allocated a pretty good amount for the cost, at least. And I basically just started devising a plan. So as it's downtrending, I'm looking at the levels to short. And any stock above $5, I like to put a lot of weight behind the whole and $half numbers, just because mentally they play a big part of support and resistance. So as we downtrended past, into 6, I said I'm going to start short a pop towards 650 as that $half number. And I have a rule when I trade pre-market that I'm only using 1/10 of my max size unless it's an A+ setup, as in like a def line or a first red day. So basically I just got that small starter on and it washed really fast. So I took it. And at this point I said, all right, well, the stock's behaving how I want it to, but the next time I attack it, I want it to be VWAP. So what did I do? I just kind of placed a fantasy order at 650. Waited all kind of through that pre-market from 8:45 to 9:15. Finally got that fill, and it washed pretty quick. And I said I want to be flat for the open, so I made sure to cover it all. And I covered at 6, like in the 6s, because that I just figured was going to be support. If it washed without me, I would have just attacked the open. On downtrending stocks like this, I like to see a pop at the open to a previous resistance level. So my thought was $7 is perfect. Again, a whole dollar number also matches up with, 7.15-ish resistance. So we pushed to 7. I shorted some at 675. And then as we started stuffing 7, I threw on the rest of my 30% max size, because I trade 30% on the front side and 100% under VWAP or backside. So then I covered really fast into the wash. I had like a 680s average, and I wanted to give myself the rest of that kind of cushion. So I covered at 650, the $half, and then on the slam through into the 6s. And then, as I've stated in previous videos, I use both VWAPs, intraday and pre-market. So when they're coupled together, I throw more weight behind that it's a little bit stronger. So I started shorting, scaling in kind of my max size every time it pushed. And then rinse and repeat. As it pushes and fails, I'll cover into 6 support and keep going, right? And then that third time, you'll see washed into the 5s, 580s. So I got all of it off, and then said I'm flat. At this point, I was up actually really nice in the day, so I just took my hands off the keyboard, said need to wait. Now I don't want to, anticipate a move. I want to react when it gets to my level. Waited until it got back to VWAP, shorted, covered. On the way down, I thought 6 could act as resistance now that it's cracked it. Shorted popped the 6 and covered fast. And then I turned off my computer pretty much at 10:15 or whatever that is. And I was able to avoid a lot of the nonsense that came from it afterwards.
Yes, and that's all. And just to let you guys know who's listening, if you're listening, definitely look it on YouTube, because we'll share the chart with you. But WORX was a major squeezer. And the fact that James avoided it after 10:15 is hats off to him, because I know from him and from talking with him in the previous interviews and talking with Alex Temez on another interview from my investing club, you guys really, really respect the zombie roll, which is right around that time, 10:30, 10:15, and that's when things start to act weird and come back to life. And what do WORX do? WORX came, in the 20s? It's stupid. So
yeah, jeez, it would have been a terrible day if I stopped.
Yeah, it would have been. So what's really awesome here is hopefully you guys see that he took what he was comfortable with, took the meat of the move for him, made his quick money, and was done with this stock. And that is something I'm hoping you guys take away. And notice how he's using different indicators on what triggers full size and what triggers 10th size and what triggers, half size. That's something when we talk about risk management that a lot of you guys, sometimes it goes over your head when we talk about risk management because you're like, oh my God, this again. But understand risk management means knowing when to size in, when to size out, how much size you need to take. So thank you so much, James, for being here today and explaining this because you really hit that. And I think that's a great lesson. So thanks again, my man.
Of course, man. Have a good one.